Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and this is another video review. Today I will be looking at the Lian-Li PC USB case. Okay, this is the Lian-Li PC60 USB case, and I've taken the liberty of installing a few of my things in here to show you the layout of this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 inch bays, and here you've got room for floppy and a few other hard drives. I'll show you the inside of this in a second. And of course here you have your power switch, your reset switch, your hard drive, your power LED, of course the Lian-Li logo, as well as you've got ports here for the USB. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll show you how these are actually hooked up to a motherboard a bit later. Now, these cases, of course, as you know, are all aluminum, very light and very cool, and the front part of this actually just snaps off very simply. Now, you should actually be taking this off from the bottom here. So if I could just remove this and actually pull it from the bottom, that's how it recommends to take this off. Of course, I'm trying to do this with one hand as well, so it's a little bit more difficult. So there you have the front part is actually removed. Now, as you can see here, I've installed a couple things up top. I'll go around to the other side here, and to remove these, it's very simple. All you need to do is press here, and it will bend the aluminum in to remove these slots. Now, I know when I started this case first, I tried to pull these off, and you can't. You need to push them in and just remove them this way. So it's very simple. Of course, once they're off, they snap back very easily. This here as well removes as a complete tray, so you can install your hard drives in this, as well as a zip drive, a floppy drive, and actually take this out and put things into it and pop it back in again. I'll show you a little bit about that later as well. You've got two fans here in the front. Now, as you can see, the grill, this computer has been on for a while, and certainly important to have a filter to filter out any dust that's being sucked into your computer. And easily removed, of course, and cleaned. You just pop this out, and you have two nice fans here. So you clean it, and you would then, of course, pop it back very simply. Again, I'm doing this with one hand. It's very simple. Now, this has three settings. The fans here, you've got low, medium, and high. And, of course, the USB hub down at the bottom. Okay, I'll show you how this 3.5 inch bay actually comes out. You've got three screws here. You've got this one, and there's one down here. And of course, these are handy thumb screws. They're very easy to take off. I'll just take these off here, and of course one on the bottom. And now that they're all removed, as you can see here, I can just pull this out, completely remove it, and pop it back in very simply, and there you have it. And the great convenience of this is when you have your case loaded down, you don't need to be going inside trying to put things on and off when they're inside, which is quite difficult sometimes. So this makes this very, very simple as well. Okay, this is the inside of the case, and this, of course, here is the removable bay, so you can remove this 3.5 inch out of the system altogether. Of course, you would be unplugging all your devices here first. Of course, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.25 at the top, so a nice bit of space here for any kind of CD-ROMs or DVDs and so on. Of course, you got room for your hard drives down here, and these are the two intake fans, which would be cooling your system off. And as I mentioned before, a filter is a very good idea in the front. And if we look, but they should have maybe modded this in a way so it does fit these power supplies that have a grill and fan on the bottom. Because as you can see here, I cannot pull this out or push it in. Now, the way I had to install this was this way. The fan, of course, with the grill, if you take all the screws off, you're going to lose the fan inside the power supply. So what I did is I removed basically 3 of them and managed to fit it in that way without losing the fan inside the power supply. So that's a little bit of a flaw there, I think. They should have given it maybe a little bit more space to move in and out. Now, a standard power supply without a fan will do fine. You'll slide in and out very easily. As you can see here, this is very well designed. You can slip it in and out quite easily, but that is an issue certainly that they should probably rectify. And if you do have a Dremel tool, you can certainly mod the back here so you can slip this thing in and out very, very easily. A few other things I should mention. Of course, this is the speaker. This is the lead to the speaker, hard drive, and so on and so forth. So this is very handy as well because you can remove this by using this device here, and of course you have your USB connections. Now you can have up to 4, however you do need a motherboard that does support this type of plug-in actually on the motherboard. I have an iWill KK266 RAID, and that motherboard does support this, so you can plug in USB quite easily on the motherboard. In most cases they actually have a lead which would go through the front and actually go through the slot in the back of your computer and go into the USB in the back of your computer. But this is very handy. Certainly if you have a motherboard which supports this, you can readily get your USBs on the front of your computer working. Now, as you can see here, I've completely, and I can slide this thing in very easily. Just slide it in, slide it out. It's very simple. And once you've done that, of course, then you would mount it in permanently with these screws, like so, until you have another change. You want to replace your motherboard, you want to replace a heatsink. Very simple. And as well, you've got a fan here in the back. This is exhausting air, and in my case I have the Enermax power supply, which of course is sucking out air at the top as well, so you get excellent air flow through this case. And remember, at the front you've got 2 fans sucking in cool air as well. Of course, lots of vents here at the back as well. So I've now installed both sides of the case, and as you can see, using these little handy thumb screws, again, it's very simple to pop the sides of the case on. Now, something unique as well about this case is it is of course solid aluminum, which means that you're going to get cooler inside temperatures in your case. I've noticed between a 5 and 10 C difference on the inside temperature of your case, depending if you have, like I say, the exhaust fans going, and depending on a motherboard, what kind of power supply you have for your motherboard. So it does depend on certain things, but you'll notice probably between a 5 and 10 degree difference, which is substantial. So to sum up this video review, I give this case a 9.5 out of 10. Overall, an excellent case. It loses the 0.5 for the price. At $250 Canadian, this is a very expensive case. However, you're looking at luxury here. This is the top of the line in cases at this time. Solid aluminum, wonderful features like bays that move in and out very simply, all kinds of nice thumb screws. So very convenient, very cool in both ways. An overall excellent case. I certainly would recommend picking one of these up if you can afford it. And it's an excellent case as well for modding. Since it is aluminum, it's very, very soft, and you can drill through this with a Dremel tool or whatever else very, very easily, almost like butter. So in that case, it's great for modding as well. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and this has been another video review. Be sure to check back in 4 days. I'll have a new one for you then. Also, check out my forums at www.3dgameman.com. We're always giving away cash and prizes. Until the next time, take care.